Welcome to the Saturday Morning Community Forum. We have a lot of news for you this week. It's a lot going on. We have a lot of information to share with you. First of all, we want to respond to the Texas legislature that said a woman is prohibited from having an abortion after 6 weeks. I don't know what medical doctors that they talk to, the legislators I'm talking about, and they want to decide whether or not a woman, based on their factors, could have an abortion after 6 weeks. It's very arbitrary, and they said that they are going to penalize the doctors, the hospitals, fine them if they perform these abortions because they're trying to make them illegal.
As a healthcare provider, it is abhorrent to me that the laws restricting abortion are passed under the pretense of making abortion safe when they actually do the opposite.
This misguided bill would invalidate hundreds of constitutionally sound state laws.
The right to choose on paper has been out of reach for a lot of people in Texas for some time now because of medically unnecessary restrictions like waiting periods or required testing that patients don't need.
There was a lawsuit in reaction to the Texas legislature that was filed before the U.S. Supreme Court, but they did not go through the normal channels, so the Supreme Court refused to hear the case in what they call a shadow Supreme Court decision. They simply did not rule on the merits of the case. Thank you, Supreme Court, for once, for standing back. What we're saying, women, we have to organize. We have to make sure that this states' rights agenda that impacts us directly does not continue to spread across the country. We're urging entertainers, consumer-based companies that women support. We want you to refuse to invest in Texas just like you did in Georgia when they passed egregious voting rights legislation. These states' writers have to be told and showed that we're not going to allow them to restrict our rights in terms of our health care. We're not going to allow them to restrict our rights as it relates to voting. We're not going to allow any of these right-wing state legislators to pass legislation that limits our access to justice. And so, women, what am I asking you to do? Join Rainbow Push as we are coalescing with women's organizations all around the country. We're talking to the National Organization of Women. We're talking to the National Jewish Women. We're talking to sororities. We're talking to NCNW, National Council of Negro Women. We are asking all women, let us unite together. Some are saying they're going to demonstrate in coming weeks in Texas, and wherever there are women-led organizations, we're asking you to join in those demonstrations. We're talking about calling for corporations to boycott Texas because we're not going to let Texas decide what can happen to a woman. We want to decide for ourselves. We have the power, we have the voting strength, and we're not going to take it. We ask you, email me, RevJWilson@rainbowpush.org. We're organizing. It's going to take a little time, but by the end of October, you will see a strong force. Just like we did the women's marches all over the world, we're marching. We're going to be demonstrating. We're boycotting. We're calling for corporations to stand with us. Those that we support, you now must support us. Now, I can't stay on this any longer. We got to go on to the next thing. You're going to hear from Reverend Jackson. He has a column that is in the Sun-Times. You need to read his column that talks about the Texas Taliban. These people in Texas trying to treat us as if we are in Afghanistan. We're in America, and we will show you. Read Reverend's column.